In this video, we're going to take a look at interpreting fraction division situations. So here we have a problem. It says Molly has 1 and 3/8 cups of strawberries. She needs 3/8 cups of strawberries to make one batch of muffins. How many full batches can Molly make? So we need to look at the problem and figure out what we know first. So the first thing that I know is that Molly has 1 and 3/8 cups of strawberries, and I get that information from right here. The next thing I know is that she needs 3/8 cups of strawberries to make one batch of muffins. And I would get that information from right here. And then the question that I need to answer is how many full batches can Molly make? And that comes from the end here. So there are my three parts to my question. So now I need to set up my problem to figure out how to answer that question of how many full batches can Molly make. So when I set up my thinking, I'm going to be looking for the total or what you have in the problem divided by the parts or what you need in the problem. So when I look at this, what I have in the problem or what Molly has in the problem is she has 1 and 3/8 cups of strawberries. What she needs to do is break that up into the 3/8 cups that she needs to make one batch of muffins. And so I'm going to take 1 and 3/8 divided by 3/8. And in doing that, we're going to need to change this to an improper fraction. And again, I take 8 times 1, which is 8, and I add 3 to it, which gives me 11/8. I'm going to divide that by 3/8. And remember to divide, we're going to take 11/8. We're going to change this to multiplication, and then we're going to use the reciprocal of 3/8, which is flipping it over and making it 8/3. And when I do that, that gets me an amount of 88 over 24. And so then now I need to kind of simplify this or make it into a mixed number. And I do that by taking 88 divided by 24. And when I do that, I come up with 3 and 16/24. So the question asks, how many full batches can Molly make? Well, I have a whole number of 3, and then I have a fraction of 16/24. Well, the fraction is only a part. So the full batches would be the whole number, which is 3. So my solution or my answer would be 3 full batches. So here we have another situation. Bethany is having a neighbor watch her dog while she's gone for the week. She decides to take 7/8 of a pound of dog food and put it into 7 containers equally. How much dog food will there be in each container? So again, I need to take a look at what I know. So what I know is that she decides to take 7/8 of a pound of dog food, and I get that from this part of the problem right here. And then my next part of what I know is that she's going to put it into 7 containers equally. And that information is right here. And then I need to know what question I'm going to answer. And the question that I'm going to answer is how much dog food will be in each container. And I get that information from right there. So now to set up my thinking, I need to again ask my question, what is my total or what do we have? And I'm going to divide that by the parts, is basically what do we need. So when we look at this, we have to look at what Bethany has. And she has 7/8 pounds of dog food. And what is she going to do, or what does she need to do? She's going to divide that up into 7 containers. So she's going to break the 7/8 up into 7 equal containers. So our problem would be 7/8 divided by 7. And as we go through and we figure that out, we would take our 7/8 divided by 7/1. And then to solve that, we take 7/8 and we multiply by the reciprocal, or we flip this fraction over, and that gives us 7/56. And we can reduce this down by dividing both of them by 7, and that gets us a reduced answer of 1/8. And so our solution, or our answer, would be 1/8 pounds, or 1/8 of a pound per container. Next one here says a bottle of vegetable oil holds 5 cups. A recipe for cookies requires 2/3 of a cup of oil. How many full recipes can you make with a bottle of vegetable oil? So again, what do I know? So I know a bottle of vegetable oil holds 5 cups. And we get that from right here. And then what else do I know? I know that a recipe for cookies requires 2/3 of a cup of oil. And I get that from right here. And then my question that I'm going to need to answer is, how many full recipes can you make with a bottle of vegetable oil? And my question comes from right here. So again, setting up my thinking, I need to look at the total amount, or what do we have, divided by the part, or what do we need. So what is the total amount that we have in this problem? Well, we have 5 cups of vegetable oil. That's how much a bottle will hold. And the parts come from the different recipes that we need, or the different amount of recipes that we're going to need to make. And each recipe requires 2/3 of a cup. So I'm taking my total amount of vegetable oil, dividing it into the number of recipes, or the amount that I need per recipe, to figure out how many recipes I can make. And so when we solve this, I'm going to take my 5/1 divided by my 2/3. And in doing that, I can take 5/1 and I can multiply it by the reciprocal, or flip the fraction over. And that gives me 15/2. Well, this improper fraction doesn't help me any. So I have to simplify it down into a mixed number. So 2 into 15. So taking 15 divided by 2 goes in there 7 times, which is 14. One left over. And so I have 7 1/2. But again, it says how many full recipes can we make? So again, I have a whole number of 7 and a fraction, which is a part. So I only have enough to make 7 full recipes, because I don't have enough with this half to make an entire new another recipe. So my answer would be 7 recipes. Then this question here says, Kendra plans to run 4.5 miles this week. If she runs 2/3 of a mile each day, how many days will it take her to run 4.5 miles? So again, what do I know? I know that Kendra plans to run 4.5 miles this week. And again, I find that in my problem right there. What else do I know? I know that she plans on running 2/3 of a mile each day. And I get that from this part right here. And then again, my question is, how many days will it take her to run 4.5 miles? And I find that from right here. Again, setting up my thinking, looking at what is my total or what do I have, and I'm dividing it into parts or what I need. So when I do that, I want to look at what do I have in this problem? What does Kendra have total amount? Well, her total amount of miles that she wants to run is 4.5. So 4.5 is my total. And then she wants to run 2/3 of a mile each day. So that's my part. So one day she's running 2/3, the next day she's running 2/3, and so on. So I'm taking my 4.5 and I'm dividing it into the 2/3 that she's running each day to figure out how many days it's going to take. So when we do that, take our problem here. We've got 4 and 1/2 divided by 2/3. Well, this is a mixed number. So I want to change it to an improper fraction. So I take 2 times 4, which is 8, plus 1 is 9. So now I have 9/2 divided by 2/3. And to solve this, I can take 9 or 9 halves, change it to multiplication, and then use the reciprocal or flip it over, which would be 3/2. And this gets me a total of 27/4. Now, this is an improper fraction, does not help me answer the question. So I need to simplify it down into a mixed number. So again, I'm going to take 27 divided by 4. Well, 4 can go into 27 6 whole times because that's 24. Have 3 left over out of my 4. So I have 6 3/4. So for this problem, it doesn't say how many full days, but it does say how many days. Well, she can run 6 days, but then she needs a little bit extra to finish up. So in this case, she's going to have to run one more day than this whole number here to get this fraction taken care of. So she's actually going to have to run 7 days to get all of her mileage taken care of.